Hello, I'm Greg Evigan. I used to present When Insects Attack. A poor quality program based on a very slender conceit. I thought it was stupid, but it looked good on paper. Anyway, that's all behind me now. When Sir Isaac Newton invented gravity, he was oh so very pleased with himself. But would he have been so delighted if he had known the suffering that his gravity would cause? Journey with me now as we see what happens when things get knocked over, spill, or fall out of cupboards. Let's find out. This week, beetroot.
I remember it was a Saturday. It was an access day. I had Tim round for the night. Well, I let him stay up and watch Rory Bremner, and I sat there and ate my beetroot. I'd had a few beers, well, nothing to make a song and dance about. And, well, anyway, I've been getting this whole arm-shaking thing since the divorce. Made my arm shoot out and splash beetroot all over Tim's t-shirt. And, well, Margaret would love that, wouldn't she? Me bringing Tim home covered with beetroot juice. Anyway, I started shouting at him, and I suppose it wasn't really his fault. The next day we went to the market and found a t-shirt much the same. Margaret didn't even notice. Still, what if she did? I don't care. I mean, what's the world coming to if a man can't spill beetroot on his own son?
Peter Gibbs and his son, Tim Gibbs Norman, certainly won't be eating beetroot in front of the Rory Bremner show again, no matter how much they hunger for its crunchy purple tubers. Instead, they have feasted on the bitter fruit of experience that is served up raw when things get knocked over or spill or fall out of cupboards. I'm Greg Evigan. Goodbye. I made this. When Sir Isaac Newton invented gravity, an apple fell on his wig-encrusted head, and he was happy. But if an apple fell on my head, I would be unhappy. And if something bigger than an apple fell on my head, say, an anvil or a Shetland pony, I might even be killed. Hi, I'm Greg Evigan, Jake Cardigan and William Shatner's Tech War. Come with me now and observe what can happen when things get knocked over or spill or fall out of cupboards. This week, sherry.
Well, Margaret had popped out to pick up her Sprog and his old man's. And I was in on my own, having a few sherries, watching They Think It's All Over. Anyway, I stood up to go for a wee, and I trod on one of the kids' Ninja Action Men turtle things, you know. And sherry flies out my hand all over Margaret's sofa. Well, I had to clear that up in double quick time, otherwise, you know, it'd be straight to bed for me and no nookie. I was letting that. But, you know, Margaret still doesn't know to this day. I never told her. You know. I think it's best not to tell women everything. Apparently, they show them some of the questions before the programme when they think it's all over. They were saying, you know, take some of the magic out of it for me.
Well, Carl Burnley's new girlfriend's slightly stained sofa bears a terrible mute witness to the obscene force of chaos so carelessly unleashed by Sir Isaac Newton. Gravity. And I hope the ancient scientist is pleased with the wretched monstrosity his knowledge and curiosity sired. From henceforth, there is always the terrible danger that things might get knocked over, spill, or fall out of cupboards. I'm Greg Evigan. Goodbye. I made this. When Sir Isaac Newton invented gravity, he dared to think he knew better than God. But Newton had created a Frankenstein that would one day devour him. Hi, I'm Greg Evigan, Heinemann in the movie Stripped to Kill. And truly, it is the Frankenstein monster of gravity which makes things get knocked over, spill, and fall out of cupboards. This week, spaghetti.
My ex-husband Peter had wanted to meet up and discuss his maintenance payments, access to Tim, that sort of thing. Peter's been a bit unpredictable lately, so Citizen's advice suggested that I should meet him in a public place and take someone with me. So Carl, is my gentleman friend, he came with me and sat out of sight. I had a lovely bolognese, and Peter had some old pie or something. Anyway.
Oh, have you thought about what I've been saying?
Peter was quite polite at first, but then when I said to him that he should have had the bolognese, he started saying that that was typical, and why couldn't he eat the pies that he liked?
I don't like Italian food.
You're always having a pie, aren't you? You never stop eating pies.
Because I like
Pies. I'm just trying something different, Peter. That's all I'm saying to you. You're so stuck in your ways. That's what I've left you.
Please come check.
Suddenly, he seemed very agitated.
I need lovely.
Oh, God, no.
Please.
No, don't scratch me.
I can't stand it. Every night it's the same. I can't stop. I'm drinking it.
And that's when he threw the spaghetti at me. It was most embarrassing, to be honest. People staring.
Well, yes. I'd had a few drinks, admittedly, but I'd had a hard day at work. And I certainly didn't throw spaghetti at Margaret, or whatever other gossip her tongue has been saying about me. I merely banged my clenched hand on the table, and the shockwave sent the spaghetti towards Margaret like a meteor in space. Well, luckily that Carl chap was there to comfort her, I noticed. I mean, what sort of a world is it when a man can't throw harmless pasta shapes into the face of his ex-wife? She should have had the pie. Oh no, she had to have the pasta. Pasta.
With his gravity monster, Sir Isaac Newton dared to mock God. But what happened when Sir Isaac Newton died? That's right, he fell over. God will not be mocked, my friend. And that is why things get knocked over, spill, or fall out of cupboards. I'm Greg Evigan. Tread carefully now. King Canute tried to defy the forces of gravity by insisting he could turn back the tides. Today we laugh at the absurd monarch. But are we really any better than he? Hi, I'm Greg Evigan, Robert Russo in TV's Pacific Palisades. If you have ever wondered what happens when things fall over, spill, or get knocked out of cupboards, then join me now and see what they are. When things get knocked over, spill, or fall out of cupboards. This week, beetroot. Again.
Yeah, I was just going to make Tim his tea. The usual Access Day special, sardines on toast and a Waitrose mousse. And, well, I'd had a few drinks. Well, it's coming on to 6 o'clock. I reached up to the top cupboard and I accidentally knocked one of my beetroot jars on Tim's head. I mean, he's always getting in the way under my feet. Anyway, we hit it and boom, bang onto the floor. Boom. Boom. And it was, let me tell you, it was very odd, because I looked at him for a moment lying there, and I thought to myself, I really hope he's dead. I hope he's dead. And I started laughing and thinking that would be the one thing that would really upset his mother, and I thought of Margaret standing there crying over his grave. Anyway, Tim got up and had to sit down. He was fit as a pie. It was a very strange moment for me, really. Peculiar.
Peter Norman and Tim Gibbs Norman thought that they too could defy gravity like a pair of stupid Canutes. But tiny Tim Gibbs Norman's beetroot-battered head bears mute witness to the unstoppable forces that are unleashed when some beetroot combines with the force of gravity and then becomes one of the things that get knocked over, spill, or fall out of cupboards. I'm Greg Evigan. Goodbye. I made this. Priests would have us believe that God on high is merciful and that he loves and cherishes humanity. I'm Greg Evigan, Rick Barish in Edna Buchanan's Crimes of Passion. And what I say is, if God truly does love us, why does he allow things to get knocked over, spill, and fall out of cupboards? This week, beans.
I've just gone to get something from the fridge. I don't know how.
You must caught a wrist on something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how this massive open tin of beans just fell out. Spilled into Tim's face and fly.
So you thought it'd be quite repulsive, wouldn't you? Sort of a woman with all cold beans all over it. But you did a trick for me, I'll tell you.
I've just come out of a long and loveless marriage, and my husband Peter wasn't very sexually adventurous, so just let myself go.
Yeah, no, let me do that. Oh, what's that? Yeah, of course, just a bloody kids coming this morning.
Oh, yes, Tim did come in, and I think what he saw distressed him.
Well, he's got to learn sooner or later, haven't he? You know, sex is nature's gift to men.
Mom! Carl was just helping me with the tea, love. What's a fish finger?
But Tim's not been himself since the divorce.
That doesn't help, does he?
No. Apparently he threw some beetroot at him last week. He was drunk.
Idiot.
You know, the boy needs a father.
Yeah, not like that. He don't throw beetroot round like there's no tomorrow.
Faced with this story, we can only sit, mouths agog, and wonder, what kind of merciful God would mock an innocent young boy like Tim Gibbs Norman with such a foul, bean-ridden travesty of the act of love? Surely only a God of hate. I'm Greg Evigan. Join me again next week as we see what happens when things get knocked over, spill, or fall out of cupboards. I made this. It is, I think, St. Alphege that tells us how God is a shepherd, watching over us, caring for his hairless human flock. I'm Greg Evigan, Cody Powell in TV's P.S. I Love You, and I wonder, would a truly watchful shepherd allow his loyal sheep to soil their snow-white fleeces in fear when things fall over, spill, and get knocked out of cupboards? This week, beetroot again. Again.
Yeah, it was an access day, and Margaret and Carl had come round to pick up Tim, and they were late. I was in a foul mood. I mean, I'm normally in the Drum and Monkey by 6 o'clock.
Hello, Peter.
You're late.
Come get Tim.
What time do you call this then?
Tim, come on, love.
Tim! Anyway, he starts having a go at me, saying, why aren't I wearing any trousers, you know? What's this thing? You're the farm tonight? Well, my arm started shaking. It's a stress-related thing. Shot my beetroot juice into old Carl's face. Anyway, he's at me like a vermin. Poor old Tim, he has to stand there and watch this teddy boy set upon his own father. You know, he saw him, Carl Collingwood, licking baked beans off of Margaret's face. It's not on. In my house, which I paid for, it's damn bloody well not on. A child doesn't know what to make of something like that.
Things do not fall over, do not spill, do not get knocked out of cupboards. The power of Christ compels you. It is no use. Could the Good Shepherd not have stopped the beetroot in midair if he had wished? Yes, but he is contemptuous of his bleeding lambs, so he chooses to stand back and laugh when things get knocked over, spill, or fall out of cupboards. I'm Greg Evigan. Goodbye. I made this. Scientists in their wisdom tell us that bees are too unaerodynamic to fly. Yet Almighty God, in His wisdom, has chosen to make them the flying yellow fairies of the garden. Hi, I'm Greg Evigan, Will in the movie House of the Damned, a.k.a. Spectre. If I were to try to fly unaided, God's law of gravity would quickly send me crashing to the soil. Yet God chooses to mock me, Greg Evigan, with every whorish bee He sends to buzz around my sticky honey pot. Bees may fly, it seems, but man must suffer in a world where things fall over, spill, and get knocked out of cupboards. This week, beer.
Carl had promised us a nice Sunday pub lunch, and things have been getting a bit on top of me lately.
Her ex-husband.
Peter, he can't get over the fact I really have left him.
Huh. He's following around all over the place. He's shouting things out to her in the street. Some bloody mental nut job. Sounds like Hannibal Lecter or something.
And Peter's been making me feel very paranoid. Like, everywhere I go, like Peter's there watching.
Well, he's mad. He's like a Dracula or a Donald Snowman or something.
I mean, we had been enjoying our lunch, and suddenly this beer just started falling on us.
I jumped up, and I'm pretty sure I saw old mental Peter lurking there in the bush like a Dalek.
You can't be certain, though.
Well, I can't be certain, love, can I? But, you know, it's a kind of mentally ill thing old mental fat arse would get up to, though, isn't it? Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, beer don't fall out the sky on its own, does it? It'd be nice if it did, but, no, it don't, does it? It's old mental head fat arse Peter up to his usual mental play, wasn't it? I mean, dear me, I mean, you know, they were bring him up into space in a spaceship, throw away the key.
Look at your jacket.
Cow, and you're going to pay for it.
God, look at that. Let's go
I'll
to
tell you what,
the
no, he's mental.
Peter's not been himself lately. Divorce.
Fat arse.
Sorry.
I'm Greg Evigan, and I am not a bee. Instead, God made me a successful actor, earning up to $200,000 a film. But if I were a bee, I, like Carl Burnley and Margaret Norman, need never fear what will happen when things fall over, spill, or get knocked out of cupboards. Goodbye. Once, I went to a coconut shy to try and knock a coconut off its wooden perch and win a stuffed toy for a lady who had enchanted me. I'm Greg Evigan, Danny Doyle in TV's Masquerade. But no matter how hard my balls battered the nut, it would not fall. That's right. The gypsy who ran the shy had nailed it down, as if to mock both me and gravity. If only it were so easy to escape the consequences of what happens when things fall over, spill, and get knocked out of cupboards. This week, beer. Again.
Well, it was early on a Sunday morning. I put a few beer cans in an old Sainsbury's bag, and my feet led me to the house where I used to live with Margaret. Well, where Margaret still lives. With Carl. Anyway, I looked at the old house and memories came flooding back, you know, good ones. Days of wine and roses, etc. Anyway, my arm started to shake. It's that old stress thing again, and a beer can just shot out of my hand straight through the windscreen of Carl's car. He comes running out of the house in his undercut, putting the sign between my heart beating. He starts punching me. when Tim comes out, he's shouting something like that.
Go away! Stop coming all the time!
Dad, go away. We don't need you. And, well, anyway, they don't let me see him anymore. Court thing, you know. Silly, really. It's only a couple of beer cans. Absurd.
Needless to say, I did not win the stuffed toy. The woman soon left me, and I could only dream of what might have been had nature been allowed to run unfettered. But if only that beer had been nailed down too, then perhaps Peter Gibbs would not have shamed himself so when things fall over, spill, or get knocked out of cupboards. I'm Greg Evigan. See you around, my friends. We read with excitement and glee in the good book of Adam's disobedience and the fall of man. I'm Greg Evigan, Brad Carlton in the movie Private Road, No Trespassing. If you put a dish on a table, it will probably fall off. So is it any wonder that man himself in turn would fall from grace? After all, we live in a world of chaos, where things fall over, spill, and get knocked out of cupboards. This week, things.
Balance. See? That's the important thing in life. Balance. Sense of structure. A can of beer will balance on a jar of beetroot, but a jar of beetroot won't balance on a can of beer. For what? I thought if I could pile all the things up in my cell on top of each other, one thing on top of each other, we'd balance it all out, and then everything would be fine. Margaret, Tim, the quarter pill, Carl would die. And every day I piled things up anew, but they kept tumbling down. They kept falling down. And they said that one day, if I'm good, then I'll be able to go home. But then who would pile up the things then? You know, who would keep things in balance then? Who would keep the balance of the universe? What would happen?
After his fall, Adam looked up from the dirt and wished he had not fallen. But he had fallen. Man had fallen. And so too, in turn, the curtain falls on this series, which, apparently, is not being recommissioned. I thought it was good. I worked very hard on it, but obviously I was wrong. Like fat Peter Gibbs, even I, Greg Evigan, can never predict what will happen when things fall over, spill, or get knocked out of cupboards. Curse you, God, for making me this way. I'm Greg Evigan. Goodbye. I made this.